This is Truth Be Told podcast. I'm your host, Britt, and today, y'all, this is episode number 84 with the Bougee Baby podcast. How you doing today, boo boo?
Hey y'all, hello everyone. Thanks for having me so much. Yes, guys, I'm Bougee from the Bougee Babe podcast. And I think we're here today to start a little bit of trouble.
Yay, yes, honey. I started a segment called Kitchen Talk. So this is part of my kitchen talk because I'm like, my focus on the podcast. If you're new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I focus on mental health, real life conversations. But to be honest with y'all guys, I'm in transition. So I like to have a little kitchen talk too, because I feel like it's a balance.
You know what? Actually, it really is. And it's funny you say kitchen talk because a friend of mine, we meet up at her house every so often. It's the same like six, seven ladies, and we call ourselves the kitchen crew. And let me tell you something, because we congregate in her kitchen, around her island
Mhm,
or whatever, and
mhm.
it be intense sometimes. Like
It
it
is.
be real life conversations, but if the cameras could be there,
Oh, girl, if you could be an ant on the wall.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I, I I think we need that, especially as women. Men too. Shout out to all the men today. Today is Father's Day. It is all about you guys today. Don't let nobody take away your joy, your moment. No, women, we can't be a father. This is their
No.
day. Let them have their day. Let them
Let them have it. Let them have
Yes,
it.
let them have it. I definitely want to give a shout out to my dad. He's not here no more, so that's probably why I'm a little bit of a wreck. He's been gone, girl, for 16 years, but it just like it hits me in waves. And like I don't be on the internet really on Father's Day. And so today I was like, I went to church and then I'm having surgery next Tuesday. So
Mm.
so I'm so happy when you reminded me of the actual real date. Because I
Listen,
kept saying,
it's okay.
I kept saying to myself, gosh, like I follow you, and I said, well, I can't cancel. And I know next week I'm gonna be, after surgery with your throat, you can't talk. And so I said, okay, something gotta work because I don't even want her to be like, dang, you already canceling on me. So thank you. So thank you.
Listen, you know what? It's understandable. Life gets in the way for all of us. Life, it starts lifing,
Yes.
and sometimes we lose a bit of control. And it's really important that you did mention the whole mental health thing because in our community, I think sometimes we're afraid to say that mental health is real, and it does exist. And
Mhm.
look, when I scheduled it with you, I actually forgot today was Father's Day, but you know what? Look at it as a blessing in disguise because
Oh yeah.
even though your dad is not here with you in the physical, you know he's always going to be here with you in the spiritual. He's always looking over you, he's guiding you, and just smile because you were able to experience and have the memories with him that you have, and knowing that he loved on you when he was here and he's loving on you in the spiritual world. So
Oh,
just
thank
keep
you,
your
boo
head up.
boo. Thank
Keep your
you,
head up.
thank you. See, I love women like you. I love being around like-minded women. That's why I'm at in the world. My streaming be acting, girl. I promise
Yeah.
you, I am really going to girl.
The devil is a lie. It's
Let
okay.
me see what my boo at.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
It's okay, girl. Let me tell you, I can hear you, baby. And you know what? This is why I like Truth Be Told, and this is why I like Bougie Baby podcast. Because, like you said, life be life. And so when I'm doing my interviews and when I'm trying to connect with people, I go off vibes and energy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody ain't for
No,
everybody.
ma'am.
So and I'm okay with that. So if we ain't vibing, or I have to cancel or you have to cancel, and you take it, like I've had somebody like really take it to the extreme to where I've been blocked. I'm like, oh wow, like, so to each his own. But anyway, today this is episode number 84, guys. Again, please tell us more about, before we talk about the episode. It's called The Fakery. I have to keep remembering what I'm saying, because like I say, I'm in transition. I want to say another word, but I'm saying The Fakery. Um, and so I want you, before we go into the topic, I want to know more about you, what you have going on, how we can find you on social media, and tell us all about your podcast.
Well, I don't know what I have going on. I have some of everything, but um, you can find me on Instagram at the Bougee Babe Podcast, and it's the underscore Bougee is spelled Bougee underscore Babe BABE underscore podcast. Um, the topics are different every episode. I didn't want to like pigeonhole myself into one specific thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about everything. I want to talk about all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch any of my episodes, you can find me on Spotify, any streaming platform, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. You know, people will just find that every episode is different. And, I try to touch on every category. Every now and then I do the lives like this. Most of the time, people see me with that troublemaker smash out there from Death the House Media. Um, and just on a real tip, I've been a little MIA recently because, again, life was lifing, things was
Mm-hmm.
happening, and it was just going so fast. Bougie Babe could not keep up with it.
Right.
So I had to pause and just take a minute and sit back and just get myself together and recenter myself, so to speak.
I
Um,
commend you on that.
yeah,
It's good that you know, like, when to pause, when to reset, refocus, and that you have the permission to do that whenever you want to do that.
yes, yes, yes.
um,
So that's
what
about it.
made
But
you?
I appreciate you for having me on here today, though.
No, thank you so much. What made you name it the Bougie Baby Podcast? I can see that you bougie, but I love
Ah!
I love the pink. My baby, if she's seen it, she'll be like, Mom, why don't you have your mic? Why she always getting on me? And I'm like, okay, when I first started out, to be honest with you, boo, I was like, this was just an outlet. And then I kept saying to myself, I started, I followed David Shan, and he was the one who really kind of showed me how to do it. And if he knew that I didn't have no mic, he'd be getting on me. You've been doing this 2 years, and why you ain't got no mic? And no, you can go get the money to go get a mic. And I'm like, because I'm gonna get a mic though, because I plan on, when it's time to elevate. And
Yes,
so I was like, okay, it's time for me to switch it up. Like I need to be making some money. I really, and I'm not, but I didn't want it to be like, okay, this is what I'm trying to do for money. But of course, you want to have a outlet too. Everybody
correct,
does,
correct.
right? But I was like, they gotta love me first, or they gotta, feel me and be like, well, maybe I fool with Brittany, maybe I don't fool with Brittany. Like I
Listen,
said, to each his own.
even if they don't, it's going to be somebody for everyone, right?
Right, right.
And all that matters is that you like you, because guess what? The people are going to come regardless.
That's right.
They're going to be there whether they like you, and then they're going to be there when they don't like you. And
That's true.
surprisingly enough, you'll have more of the ones that don't like you that
Mhm.
are watching you.
Oh
Okay?
gosh.
So, listen.
Girl, if we could drop the mic. So that's why we going, that is why we're talking about the fakery today. When I was thinking about that, I was just thinking about where we are as a, as a world, as what's going on in the world. You really, people don't trust people anymore.
Yeah.
People don't go by their word anymore. It's always like, I don't know, you sketchy. It's, for me, it's all about your heart posture,
Yeah.
but what I'm learning is it goes back to how we was raised. Everything goes back to how we're shaped, what we come from, what we were taught to sweep under the rug.
Right.
Some people don't like to go there. They like, ah, here she go, or here comes nice Brittany, or why Brittany always got to be positive. It's not that Brittany always positive. It's just that Brittany had to get to this point. And I done been through, when you done been through so much, you're not gonna let nobody or no one pull
You
you
better
back.
say it. That's right. Better
So
say it.
when you think of the word, the fakery, or the topic itself, what are some things that come to mind for you?
So it's a lot of things that comes to mind. Honestly, I think that there are some authentic people. Um, However, in the world that we live in right now, the fakery fits it all. And I
Yes.
say that because of, look at what we're doing now, social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, now X. It's that perception. It's a perception, and it's a persona. And we don't like to call ourselves fake,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of, it really is, in a sense. It's
Yes.
like, people see you on Truth Be Told, they think they know you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, whether you're telling the truth or not, you're presenting an image, and you want
Mm-hmm.
people to believe in what you are presenting. And they don't know how to separate the two sometimes and say, like, okay, yes, this is Truth Be Told, this is Brittany, but then they may not know the Brit, because Brittany
Yeah.
could be different from, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
with me, they know me, people that know me in real life, it's like they see the shows and it's like, okay, wait a minute, I didn't know that you were like this or you were like that. Um, you earlier you said, oh, how'd you get the name Bougee Babe? You seem a kind of a little bougie, right? I don't think I
That's a good
am.
thing.
I don't think that I am, but I just like whatever is the best for me in that moment. So
Mhm.
that best could be Dollar Tree, right? Or that best could be, I don't know, Neiman's, or Gucci or whatever. No, being bougie is not a bad thing. It's just what your best is in that moment. And that's me. Whatever my best is, if I only could afford $5 things, I'm shopping at Five Below. I'm doing that
That's right.
anyway.
That's
And I'm gonna make it look
right.
good.
See,
So
see, I knew you was gonna go there. I know you was probably like, what's she about to be talking about? And girl, this is crazy. Okay, so we just talked about this topic like a day or two ago, right? I go to church today. He talks about, I go to the lighthouse in Houston. I'm in Houston. And Pastor Keon, he talks about the deception today.
you go to his
Um
church?
huh?
You go to Pastor Keon's church?
Yes, I've been to
How is
Houston.
it for
I
real?
love it. Like it's not, you know how social media pumps it up, but it's really like that. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story. So I found I found this church through my podcast. This lady named Teresa, she knew I had just moved. I'm from North Carolina. I know you hear that
Okay.
country girl. I'm a country
Yes,
girl.
ma'am.
Yeah, so I'm from North Carolina. So I moved here about 2 years ago, and I kept telling her, I gotta find me a church. And she was like, yeah, yeah. And she's Greek. Girl, she ain't even black. Like, what, I tell her she black. I be like, girl, you
Oh,
you act
wow.
like us. Yeah. So she was like, what side of town you on? I told her. And she was like, go to the lighthouse. I keep hearing about the lighthouse. And I didn't know who church it was. I said, okay, I want to hear the word. I'm real big on the
Mm-hmm.
word. Yes, I'm big on, like, I want to hear good worship, because that gets you in the spirit too. But I want to hear the word. I want to hear God. I want to hear the vessel through God. And so when I went there, girl, and then I was like, oh, why is there so many people here, girl, acting slow? Like, I was like, why are so many people here? So then I'm looking, then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, girl, just I had like an aha moment. Like, I didn't know who he
Wow.
was. I seen Shawnee. You know what I'm saying? And I seen Lady Shawnee. And so then I said, I watch all that ratchet stuff, like Basketball Wives and stuff like that. That's my stuff. Lord
Yes.
forgive me. But that's what so I was like, I was like, this is her husband, girl. That's why I'm saying I be in a bubble. Like, so then
Oh
I
no.
started researching, and when I heard his sermon, it just blew me. It just blew me. And so today, when he was talking about deception and how you're growing, like you said, like even listening to you, I'm like, good, that thing been through some things. You know, you can really feel somebody's heart posture. And and the reason why I say, going back to how we was raised and stuff, some people to this day, girl, to this day, they teach their kids, like, well, my mama taught me how to lie. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mama taught me how to get on the phone, tell such and such she ain't here. She'd probably be mad if I was saying this right now. She taught me how to even just be a lady, and she taught me how to do some deceitful shit too. Like, I ain't gonna spill all her beans, but
Right.
she taught me a lot of stuff. But she taught me how to stand on my own.
Okay.
When it comes to my father, and I thank God every day. I always tell my mama, thank you for choosing my daddy, Lordy Jesus, because I could have had Joe Blow down the street. And I just be like, Lordy, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because my father, I feel like, is what grounded us.
Yes.
My mama, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be an independent woman. Married, still have to kind of dial it back, like, Brittany, he's your husband. Like, pump the brakes, because I've never been in this situation to where I let somebody else control the wheel. And
Right.
so I'm in a space now where it's like, okay, I'm learning myself, I'm dealing with people, I'm in a new city, I'm learning new people, but then I'm also sitting back and watching people too.
Watching.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm sitting back and watching people, or I'm listening to how you talk or what you say, and I'm not judging you, because I'm far from it. Like, it's the girl I work with, I love her to death. But she lies all the damn time. And because I done been around her so much, you know what I'm saying? So now I picks up on it, but I know I love her, but then I watch her too, because I be like, okay, now if you done said this about such and such, what have you said about me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm new. Like, I ain't been around you but so damn long. Like, and I know that's just from how I was raised, what I've been through, the deception along the way, the fakery of it all. Sometimes I feel like us as a society can feel like we're not equipped or worthy enough. As you was growing up, can you tell me some things that you realized that was, like you said, the world fake as hell?
Um, honestly, growing up, I don't, I may not have recognized the fakery. I think I realized it maybe later on in life, like as I got older, and then I look back and reflect on my life, and it was like, oh, okay. And one of those things is that I was talking about this with someone I went to grammar school with. I went to a private grammar school. It was primarily Caucasian. There was in my class, in my fifth grade class, actually, it was only myself and another African American in the entire fifth grade class. And I think we had three fifth grades then in the school. And so him and I were talking like a couple of weeks ago. And what we were saying was that I think a lot of the Caucasians pretended to like us. It was like, oh my God, we love you so much. And we didn't realize then, like the little subtle things that they would do or say. We went to a birthday party and they were playing Again, we were in the fifth grade and they were playing spin the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even kissed nobody. I wasn't thinking about kissing nobody in fifth grade. And for anybody that don't know what spin the bottle is, you're sitting in a circle, guys and girls. You spin the bottle. The girl will spin the bottle, and whatever guy it lands on, that's who you gotta kiss or whatever. And they were spinning this bottle, and him and I were the only two black kids there. And they would like make sure it didn't land on him or I.
Oh wow.
And then they told him and I to, they was like, oh, because no, at one point the bottle landed on him, but the white girl wouldn't kiss him. She was like, no, it didn't land there. And she wanted to spin it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tells us, him and I, oh, y'all, we're going to play 7 minutes in heaven. So y'all two go in the closet with each other. And it's like we went in the closet, we're in the dark, we did absolutely nothing. And we laughed about it and we were like, oh, when we come out, we'll tell them that we kissed each other. And we came out, we told them, yeah, we kissed each other. But here we are in our adult life. And when we're having this conversation, we're sitting there like, we literally grew up with these people. We were in their homes, going to their kids' birthday parties. And we're fifth graders. I don't know. How old are we in fifth grade? 10, 11? I don't know.
Yeah, we was
Whatever
like
age
10,
that is.
11. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So, what does a 10 or 11-year-old child know about treating someone differently because of their race?
They don't.
And they don't, but they did. So, it's a learned behavior. It
Yeah.
had to be things that they were hearing and seeing in their household outside of us. But again, here we are in our adult life, and we were on the phone, and we're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize, that this is what it was. So it's like I see these people now in my adult life, and
Mhm.
like I'm thinking in my head, like, do you even really like me? Like you are you pretending? Like, what is this? It's the fakery,
Oh my gosh, girl. Listen, like, wait a minute, just please pause your thought. When I
Hmm.
tell you God is here, because I didn't know how this was gonna go. And I was a wreck. Like I knew what I wanted to say, but I ramble, boo. If you didn't realize that by now, I ramble. And my sister, she
Yes.
she she laughs because she's like, I know what you're saying, baby. I know you do, but everybody don't. So I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's getting what I'm saying, because I was so excited about the topic, because I was like, this is the world we live in. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, like how God, like, this is a divine, I really do feel like God brought us together today, because I was a mess before this, and I was like, I look a mess, and I'm just gonna get on here like I am, because this is really how I'm feeling right now. And I'm not getting on here talking about some poor Brittany, but this is where I'm at right now. And so, what this topic is where I'm at right now. And so, today I realized, even with Pastor Keon's topic, today about deception, I realized that I had to forgive my own father,
Yeah.
because I was holding back. I was holding on to so much stuff that I didn't even realize that I was holding on to. Some of the stuff you said, like, or
Yeah.
even just you sitting up here talking about learned behavior, learning the stuff that you learned in the house. And in fifth grade, fourth grade, sixth grade, well, sixth grade, you in middle school, but fifth grade, like, wait, you in middle school and fifth? No, you still in elementary school, girl. I'm sitting up here,
Yeah.
yeah,
Elementary.
cause my son he'll be in fifth grade next year. So I'm like, what grade is that? Like, oh, girl, forgive me, but I've never taught them to, like you said, what is your intention? Like, what
Hmm.
is your heart posture? Like, what the hell are you really trying to do? Because those spirits are here.
Here.
People are learned, like you said, we in fifth grade, we in the room, spitting about who. Of course you're gonna go in there and say, yeah, I kids, because you gotta, you know what I'm saying, play the role, you
Right.
know. But who in
Right.
there has taught your kid to hate or learn a behavior because of the way they look?
Hmm. Yeah.
Girl, that's
I
just
mean, we
that's
it was like our conversation. It was really like profound because I know some of the struggles I dealt with growing up, and I know some of the insecurities that I have in my adult life because of things that took place when I was growing up. And I
Mhm.
felt like I was alone in that.
Mhm.
And when I was speaking with him, I found that I wasn't. He had the same sentiments. And this is a grown, man.
Right.
And, he was just like, wow, as we were talking and comparing the stories, and it was like, oh, you know what? You put the piece to the puzzle because it was something that he might have forgot or that I might have forgot. But we're 10 years old, somewhere around that age.
Right.
And here the fakery started that early.
Mhm.
And it's like, where or how? And it goes back to what you said. It comes from how you were raised and
Mhm.
your upbringing and your childhood, because not those things wasn't in my household. I didn't see people for color, your race, your religion, none of that. It wasn't until I got older and it was like, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, like this shit is really real. Like
Girl.
like, oh, okay, you know? And it's
Girl,
like
it's
here now, like
scary.
it is. And it's like now, like people try to say, like, oh, it's not racism, like with the whole presidential thing. And I don't want to get into the
Right.
politics, but
Right.
it's like, oh, that's not true. This isn't happening. And oh, it's not racism. But it's like, I could sit here and tell you that I experienced it from a kid. So if it
Right.
was happening back then as a kid,
Mhm.
and it was subtle, and now it's out in the open, it's like, where did these are grown people. They didn't
Right.
just adopt these behaviors or these mindsets or anything
Mhm.
like that. It was in them from a kid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's
it's
crazy you said that because when you like you said you wasn't taught those certain behaviors of hate or religion or looking at somebody crazy from childhood. Now you're an adult, like you said. I knew you was gonna go there. That's why I was asking those questions, because I was like,
mm-hmm.
she gonna spin it around, like, and that's what you did, because I was like, okay, you right. Like, as an adult, even me now, like, it's like you'll think about some shit that happened when you was younger, and you be like, wait a minute, that shit wasn't right. Like, this wasn't right. This wasn't supposed to happen. And so then when you get older, like my uncle used to say to us all the time, I'm so glad that your father was your father. I didn't realize what he was saying until then. Now I'm not talking,
uh,
he wasn't talking about my mom. You know what I'm saying? My mama is one of the best, I'm grateful for how she is. But what he was telling me was the family that we come from. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? Like on my mom's side, it's so tricky up in there. It start might being some incest up in there. You know what I'm saying? So, and they don't want to talk about that. You want to sweep stuff under the rug. Like,
Wow.
you don't want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, some of the shit that happened when we was young, and then when you older, people in therapy for it, or you trying to figure out, like you said, what is your intention? What is the fakery about the situation? And now that you're an adult and you're trying to grow, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Then you just sitting up here like something ain't right. Just like when you sitting around a negative person. Girl, I am big on energy. I
Oh,
can read it from a
you better
mile away. Let me
say
tell
it.
you about my birthday,
You
girl.
better
So
say it.
my birthday just passed and I'm really bad. I'm a Gemini, so I know we funny acting. You know what
Oh,
I'm
you're an
saying?
air sign. I'm an air sign too.
See?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and I said to myself, why am I inviting people? You know what I'm saying? What is the intention behind me inviting people? Because I'm in a new city. Yeah, I know certain people from being back home, but I don't really kick it with you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it ain't even that I'm hating on you. It's just you got your own life. I got my own life. So it was just like, Brittany, you being fake right now. Like, I had to check myself. And my homegirl that I was gonna like I invited, and I canceled on her, and I love her to death, but I know her energy big. You know what I'm saying? So me being how I was feeling, and I kind of was feeling funny. I felt like she was being a little, I didn't know if it was towards me, or what she had going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't never
Okay.
project it's a me thing. You know, I'm
Mhm.
like, well, something off with her because I done been around her too damn long. You know, so I'm like, okay, something off. I ain't really feeling her, and it's my day, and I'm big on celebrating my birthday. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But like you said, what was my intention on inviting these people? Girl, I canceled every fucking body that I invited at the last minute. Like, it wasn't a lot, but I was like, because my husband was looking at me like, what, like, do you wanna, because you can do a girl thing, then we can do it together, you know? And I'm like, no, I want to have a
Wow.
dinner. But then I had to just really sit back. What you said made so much sense. Like, sometimes the persona, especially with social media, girl, I met so many people that got so many Instagram followers, but bitch, you barely making it. You over here, you struggling. Excuse me. You struggling just like the next person.
Mhm.
You're over here putting on this persona. And I don't know what's that why. What is that intention? Like, and I'm not hating. I promise I'm not hating because yes, I would like to have 1,000 whatever subscribers, but that's not my focus. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
you will. You will. You
you
listen.
silly.
You're gonna, cause you are. We're gonna speak that into existence. You
Okay.
are, right? We all have to crawl before we walk. Okay,
That's
we
right.
all have to start somewhere. And those people that got that 1,000, 50,000, or whatever, they had to get to 100 first. They had to get to 500 before they got to that 1,000. So it's going to come. It's going to come to you because you said you are big on energy. So when
Mhm.
you're putting that energy out there, you attract what you put out.
Mhm.
So you want more than 1,000, you want to monetize your podcast, it's going to happen. And you're
Amen.
going to look back on this day and be like, I remember I was talking to Bougee and I said, I'm a, look, this day is going to be a memory for you. You're going to have
Amen,
it.
boo.
You're going to
I
have
love,
it.
oh, I love you. Where you at?
I'm in New Jersey.
Okay,
Yep.
I was about to say you sound just like one of my homegirls that's from that area. That's why I was like, "Where are you from?" And she used to pick on me, boo, because she knew I was a little country girl. And when we would like go, we would go, like we would go out the country, or we would just go somewhere. And the first time I seen a homeless person, girl, I lost it. I was like, oh my God, because I kept saying something stink, girl. We walking, we on the strip. And I'm like, something stink. Like, oh my God, I'm just talking, talking, talking. Soon as we get up on it, girl, and I realize what it is, I just lost it. She like, why are you crying? I'm like, because I didn't know. Like, she was like, Brittany, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, girl,
Oh.
that's how I know I've been, I want to say sheltered a little bit. Because even if I be around certain drugs, girl, my husband is straight up from the hood. I love him to death. I love him to death. I know what I married, but when I be around certain, he don't let me be around stuff like that. But I've seen stuff, and
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. And I'm like, I can't be around this. This make me nervous. I'm not. I'm
Mhm.
not used to this. I didn't even know. That's why my mama was like, "Where you get this smoking weed? Like you wasn't doing it. I wasn't, but now I do. It calms me down. Leave me alone. Like you know what I'm saying. I know I
Yeah.
need to put it down. It's a work in progress in me. But anyway, girl, we could talk because I just love your energy. But what I want to say to
Thank
you
you.
to go back on topic, when you talk about the fakery, what are some things that you can tell the audience that are learning and growing their self and just trying to figure their self out in this season in the world of fakery?
So you have to be true to yourself. You cannot be fake with yourself. You could be fake with everyone else. Everyone else could be fake with you, but you have to be real with yourself. And in doing that, you have to dig down deep within yourself, in your heart of hearts, and in your mind, and learn how to decipher what's reality and what's real for you. And if you find yourself where you're in a space that you begin to say be fake with other people, meaning like how you said you with your friend you invited her, but then it was like, you know what, I can't do this. We have to learn how to be true to ourselves in that sense as well, because when you start accepting other people's behaviors and what they put out to you, yeah, you are being fake. And in
Mm-hmm.
the end, you end up hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You become hurt, you start to have unrealistic expectations. And that's where, the mental health part comes in it, because then you'll find yourself being depressed. You'll find yourself asking why all the time. And you have to say the answer to that why is because I'm being fake to me. So
Mm-hmm.
when you are being real with yourself and true to yourself, it doesn't matter what other people think or say. They either have to take it or leave it. And if they leave it, if they say, I don't want to deal, with Bougee, I don't want to deal with Brent because of this, that, and the other, because either you or I were being real to ourselves and true to ourselves, then the trash took itself out.
That's right.
That's just what it is. And really, it's like that's the only way you're going to grow, because if not, you're going to hinder yourself. You're going to
Mhm,
keep yourself in this shell and in this bubble. You end up people pleasing and you're not
mhm.
pleasing yourself. Like, it may sound selfish, but in a sense, sometimes we do have to be selfish with ourselves, because if not, you will lose yourself. So you gotta be true to yourself. You gotta be real to yourself. If you don't be real to anyone else, be real to yourself. When you go to bed at night, and you're laying there, whether you're with someone in that bed or not, at the end of the day, you have to deal with yourself. And you gotta lay there and just think, like, think about one thing that I started doing recently was I just would start thinking about my day and how I moved and navigated throughout my day, how I dealt with people. And that's part of that growth, saying, you know what? Was I happy with this decision that I made? Was I happy with, how I treated this person today? At the end of the day, am I happy with how I treated myself?
Yes.
And if not, you have tomorrow, God willing, to do a reboot and
Mhm.
be like, okay, I did this yesterday. I'm not going to do this today. I didn't, I wasn't actually truthful with my behaviors or my mannerisms and how I dealt with someone, because, the fakery comes in. Don't
Right.
make that same mistake today,
Right.
and if you're transitioning, if you're in a transition part of your life where you're making that transition from being fake to being true, and I'm not saying being fake in a bad way,
Right. Right.
it it's going to be hard for people to accept that new you. It's going to be hard for people to accept that growth in you. But going back to what you said, everyone cannot be invited to the party.
Mhm.
Everyone cannot have a seat at the table. And, feelings may be hurt, but it is what it is. And it's like you might not have a seat at this table today, but maybe tomorrow you'll have a seat at that table. And
Right.
that's what we have to do. That's where we have to be with ourselves.
Oh gosh, girl, you don't even know. I know you talking to the audience, but this right here was for me today. Like I said, I needed to hear this. I'm so grateful for all the words that you gave to us and just letting us know it's be patient with yourself.
Yes.
It's you're not competing with nobody else. Teacher, learn what your heart is saying. Like, y'all, it's okay to be authentic. It is
Mhm.
definitely okay. You don't have to be like everybody else in the world, and just be
Mhm.
kind to people. Like, people be looking at me and they be like, "Well, Brittany, you just so peaceful." No, I'm not. Like, and one of my friends, she said it too, girl. She said they think I'm the mean one, but really you are. And I laugh like, gosh, she ain't even been around me that long, and she realized that, yeah, I just know how to tame it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm just I'm grateful for your day, and I'm grateful that you are realizing in your growth, and for everybody else that's growing. Just keep working the course, keep going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, everybody ain't invited to the party. I'm good on forgiving, girl. I done got to that point. But my ass ain't about to you. We ain't about to be partying it up. Like, nah, I'm not one of them people. Like, I'm okay walking by myself. I've always been like that. I'm not a clicker. Like,
Me either, girl.
I'm not no
Me
clicker.
either.
Like, bye, deuces. We ain't got to talk. I love you though. I promise I don't mean no harm to you. Like,
Girl, you
but
better
before
say
we
it.
go,
You better
because
say
I'm
it.
saying, like, I have, girl, it feels so good not to, like, have that energy in you, like, not hate nobody, like, not wish no harm on nobody. That's, I'm telling y'all, that ain't nobody
Yeah.
but God. That ain't nobody but God. That ain't me.
God. But God.
That ain't me, girl, because I still want to cuss you out. I can sit in a room with somebody who I've hated. That's how I knew the God was working in me. Like, woo,
Oh, girl, me too.
woo.
Oh,
Come on now. That's
oh,
growth. That's growth. Pat
yes.
yourself on the back.
Twice.
But before I let you go, what is something that you would share to 14-year-old Bougee if you could talk to her today?
Oh my God. 14-year-old bougie. Ooh, we don't even have enough time in the day. Um, I would just tell 14-year-old bougie to hold tight, have some patience, and don't respond to everything because
Yes.
everything does not need a response. And I would tell 14-year-old bougie that love yourself first before you can start pouring into everyone else. Yeah. Oh, girl, no, that hit a soft spot right
I'm
there.
sorry, boo boo.
Yes, 14
Well,
year
you
old
should be
bougie
proud of
need help.
yourself. You should be proud of yourself because the stuff that we're talking about, a lot of people ain't talking like that. And so
Yeah.
you keep doing what you doing where you at, and I know we gonna meet one day because I'm like, oh, I love her energy.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
have
gonna
family in
sign out.
Houston.
Yes, come please.
So,
Like, I don't really hang with a lot of females. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple in the spots, but if you ever hear, please hit me up. You got my information, and I would love to chat with you.
yes, yes.
Yes. So we are gonna sign out, guys. This is episode number 84, the Fakery with the Bougie Baby podcast. You guys have a good evening.
Good
Thank you,
night.
boo
You're
boo.
welcome. Thank you.